It's been a long time coming, but word on the street is Sydney Sweeney is single and ready to mingle. She's fueling rumors about her breakup from ex-fiance, Jonathan Davino. She deleted a photo of them kissing on New Year's Eve. And, you know, it's not just that she deleted the photo. It's the fact that it's one of many photos in an Instagram carousel post. She specifically went back and removed just that one, leaving the rest up.
I didn't know you could even do that.
Yes, you can. And that's what makes it even more pointed that she made that decision, right? Because you could just think, oh, she's cleaning up her feed, right? Nothing, no big deal. But she kept up all the other photos from New Year's Eve, except the one where she's kissing this guy. So safe to say, she is not with Jonathan Davino anymore. If you don't know who he is, he's a restaurateur. They had been together for, I believe, 6 years, a very long time. And they were engaged as of 2022. We found out in January or February this year that they decided to push back the date of their wedding because they were just so busy. You know, they couldn't get their work schedules to make sense for their wedding date that they had originally planned on. So they pushed it back. But in reality, it was like I called it back when that happened. They just don't want to get married anymore. If it's not an urgent thing, then it must not really happen.
In my brain, he's bad at cooking, and that was a red flag for her. She's like, how can you own a restaurant and not be good at cooking?
He's just good at owning the restaurant. So it has nothing to do with the food. It's just the atmosphere.
That's
He's an interior decorator.
That's what I think.
So yeah, she deleted that New Year's post and then additionally posted something new. What appears to be a girl's trip to Africa, where she's in a hot air balloon, captioning it, "Only up from here."
She's Vaguebooking, guys. When they start posting the inspirational quotes, it's over for you.
So she's just looking at the sunset with her girlfriends.
What you're going to start seeing next, the next natural evolution to this, is infographics with squiggly text that say inspirational pseudo-feminist quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know. Me and Olivia were laughing one night because we were looking up like awful inspirational quotes that are real, and it said, "Love yourself even if you're not that great." That was a real quote.
Okay, that's better than saying like love yourself because you're perfect.
You should love yourself even if you're not that great. I know I do that each and every day. But the point is, you're gonna start seeing it's gonna be the ones where it says like the world tried to break her and something, and it'll be very, very Etsy, very, very Pinterest. The more her page starts to look indistinguishable,
know where to direct your energy.
Yes,
stuff like that.
Like the moment her feed starts to look like a Pinterest board, you have lost.
They also said earlier this month, Sydney Sweeney had been staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel for several weeks without Jonathan Davino. And, you know, I just find it pretty cold that they break up and she's the one who has to stay in a hotel. She's the one that bought the damn mansion.
How do we know this? Do we know that he didn't put money down on this?
I'm pretty sure she is the far more wealthy of the two of them.
I don't know. She could have said, each time a woman stands up for herself without knowing it, possibly without claiming it, she stands up for all women.
Show us more. I want more inspiration.
No, continue on.
Give me more inspiration.
Okay, how about this one? I do not wish women to have power over men, but over themselves.
Oh. Well-behaved women rarely make history, I've heard.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, you know, I saw this coming from a mile away, though, personally. She had been with this guy for so long, and it's got to be one of them dragging their feet. It's not a mutual decision when you haven't, you know, you've postponed actual commitment for that long.
The best protection a woman can have is courage.
Oh, I love that.
The courage to break up with your restaurateur boyfriend.
And then you go to a women's power summit afterwards.
Remember, guys, there's a women's summit going on somewhere.
I'm sure that's where Sydney Sweeney is right now.
Yes.
I was arguing with you about this. I forget if it was on the show or off the show, but we were conjecturing about who may be the reason why the wedding was postponed. Is it Sydney Sweeney who's running from commitment, or is it her now ex-fiance, Jonathan? Who's at fault? Or is it both of them? Who knows?
I don't know.
I would presume that it's because, usually what I see in real life is that it's the men who don't want to make that kind of commitment.
See, I don't know if I buy that in this case. Her life is the one that drastically changed in the last few years with success and fame. I would be more willing to believe that she was the one who's like, hey, hold up. Okay, I'm going to be working a lot. I'm making a lot of money. Like, I don't know if I want to rush into this now. Glenn Powell's kind of handsome. Like, stay over there.
You change a lot as a person going through that much of a shift as well, I'm sure.
I don't know.
So maybe she's just not the same person she was when they first started dating. And she's far more successful than she used to be when they first started dating as well.
Yep.
This reminded me, though, of a clip that went insanely viral on Twitter showing Cristiano Ronaldo's explanation for postponing his own wedding, his own engagement. He still has not proposed to his girlfriend, Georgina, who is the mother of multiple children at this point. And they live together. They for all intents and purposes, live as if they are committed for life. But he refuses to put a ring on it. And you can see in this clip his explanation for why is that he's waiting for that click.
There's got to be a moment of inspiration, he said.
They're speaking in Spanish, so I'll just read the subtitles. They're always talking about the wedding. When is the wedding? Georgina says, since Jennifer Lopez's song The Ring or When came out, they started singing it to me. And, well, this is not up to me. And Ronaldo says, I always tell her when we get that click, and he snaps his fingers, like everything with our life, and she knows what I'm talking about. I don't think she does, bro. I don't think she knows what you're talking about at all. And he said it could be in a year, or it could be in 6 months, or it could be in a month, for all he knows. But he says, I'm 1,000% sure that it will happen, just not now.
He's literally leading her on with like a little piece of cheese on the end of a string.
And I saw this, I just knew people were going to get so heated about this on both sides of the issue. There are going to be a bunch of men saying he's making the right choice, a bunch of women who are infuriated at him for not committing to the mother of his children. As far as I see it, it's just illogical, because if you are having children with somebody, that is already a lifelong commitment and a financial commitment times 3. I believe they have 3 kids at this point. So what exactly is the commitment you're running from that you haven't already made, besides just the ability to hook up with other people and, eventually leave her? Right?
So what is the logical outcome
or
here?
He's gay. He might be gay. Some people were saying that.
Is the logical outcome here that it would be better for him to have just split up with her and not been with her at all? That way he's not leading her on?
Yeah.
Or to just go ahead and get married?
Well, the thing is, she's probably satisfied enough with the status quo because of the lifestyle she's provided. However, clearly she wishes she was married. Wow. She wishes that they were married.
Some women wish for ponies and all sorts of things, and they don't get what they want.
The sad thing is that she was with him before he was this massive success.
Yes.
They were together for
which eliminates,
that whole time.
that's one of the hardest things for somebody in that position to really get out of their head, right? Is like, how do I know that anyone... Like, you think that Jeff Bezos is like, Lauren Sanchez really loves me from me. That's what she does. She loves me from me. She might. Press X to doubt. But the point being that that kind of eliminates one of those hurdles, but he would do best to not lead her on and say, like, look, I don't want to get married. Like, I would have more respect for saying, I don't want to get married. It's not going to happen. Yeah. If you want to stay, you can stay. But I'm sorry. It's just not something I can offer you.
It's like he won't tell her the answer.
And it would help her make a more informed decision for herself. But also, she's an adult, and she can infer from however many years they've been together where he's like, it's a moment, and he's starting to sound like a weird, like, used car salesman. Like, he's selling her a bill of goods. Like, you're still an adult with agency. Leave if you're not willing to do that. But that's your interpretation that she wants more, right? Not that
she said that in the clip.
But she's made the decision of her own free will that she's like, I'm willing to do this for now, even though it's not what I want.
Right.
So everyone is getting what they want. It's just not what she wants in the end. She's getting what she wants because she's okay with it.
Well, people are getting placated. And I find it effeminate that he won't just give her the straight answer she deserves because he's theoretically like afraid of how she'll react, I guess. And then Lizzie on X responded to this saying, a huge reason so many women are still single in their 30s is because men wasted their time in their 20s. I know so many women that wanted to get married in their early or mid 20s, but the guy they dated kept putting off marriage, only to break up, meet a new guy, and have the same thing happen, wasting more years. Man children afraid of commitment are just as much a problem as girl boss feminists are, and we need to acknowledge it.
Thoughts?
I think there's blame on both sides because of the old adage, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people just hear a phrase like that and they, you know, brush it off as outdated and archaic, but there's so much truth in it. You shouldn't be living with the guy. You shouldn't be having sex with the guy. You shouldn't be essentially acting like his wife, having his children, doing all of these things that are committal when it's not a two-way street. That's all I said about the situation. Clearly, she has made the value judgment that it's worth it for her, but most women are not happy in those situations, and they're not dating Cristiano Ronaldo. They're dating some random average guy. So they'd be better off withholding those things for marriage, as tradition has always advised them to do.
Yep, I would
That's
agree.
my take.
That they need to put a hard cap at the early start of the relationship. Like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is what we're working towards. If you're not looking for the same things as me, then we need to have a discussion, because that means we're probably not compatible with one another. As an adult, should be able to make that decision for themselves rather than to be meek and be led on consistently.
They also need their dads to step in probably, but there aren't many of those anymore. Yeah. Which is sad, but unironically, if they had a dad who cared about their future, that dad would step in and be like, "Hey, man, shit or get off the pot. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah,
stop wasting my daughter's time."
Well, and he should be having that conversation with her. Respect yourself and your time and your goals in life, because you're not going to get there if you keep entertaining this without a plan.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is, like, in the past, relationships, marriage, and kids were all part of a life plan to build something together, because eventually you wanted to make sure that you had family when you had to get old so they didn't have to just toss you into a nursing home. Life had a plan. Life in a lot of ways doesn't have a lot of plan anymore. You just kind of get together and hope for the best rather than
kind of random, and people hang on.
These people need their own Luke Belmar masterminding for them to help them figure out what they want in life.
People get so scared of change, and they get so scared of actual permanence and the consequences of their actions, their decisions, and it snowballs from there. As for Sydney Sweeney, though, I'm sure she will be just fine if she is in fact single. There is no shortage of men in the world who would be more than eager to step in.
I mean, I said literally the other day, every time that I make Olivia laugh at something stupid, I get very excited to spend the rest of my life with her. And if you can't find somebody who wants to do that, then you're kind of wasting your time, especially if you're, it's kind of it's not a cliche, but we know that there's a clock for women when it comes to kids, and depending on how set you are on the idea of having kids in a time frame right there. Like, if you don't want to go down the Evie magazine article route and start reading about IVF and how it's going to destroy the world, then you better get going.
We'll get to that later.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.